Okay, looks like it's working. Hang on, turn that down. There we go. Make sure that's working. Yep, it's working. Okay. Or don't. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay. So, welcome back to the stream. I had to move the pilot seat back a little bit. It was not quite working. By the way, if you do have to do that, I don't know why it does this, but if you gotta like move your pilot seat once you've already placed it and saved, you gotta completely delete it and put it back in. I do not know why it does that, but it does. So I had to do that, but it's working now. It was clipping with this front console, so obviously that's not good, but it's fine now. So I'm gonna get these things situated because I forgot. I feel kind of dumb, but these. The cargo hold, and the armillary console are both not here in game. I don't know why, but they don't like to move. So I've ran into it before, and I forget. So yeah, I'm gonna take a note of this real quick. That spaceship inventory. What's this? This is the ship armillary console 01, and then I also need this thing, and that is the MQ204 armillary screen trigger. Okay, so these two are fine. I don't know why they're fine, but they are. But this we're gonna have to delete, and then yeah, it's fine. Delete. Yes. And sadly delete. Yes. Okay. Now we gotta go find it all again. Actually, let's go ahead and move these where they're supposed to go. Hang on. Get 3D data here. Okay, let's go ahead, let's set everything to 0. Ooh. Okay, so we want 180 on you. Yep, that's what we want. Hit OK. What about you? Let's edit. 0, 0, 0. So you probably 90, right? Yeah. Okay, so we are going to put all of these items over here. At least I'm going to try to. Just for easy access. Oh yeah, that's right. This doesn't like to. This thing's all kind of wonky. Ugh. This is gonna be fun to decorate. That was very sarcastic, by the way. I'm not saying it's actually going to be fun. It is not. It's going to be rather annoying. Well. No, if I keep it here, it should be fine, actually. This is extruded a little bit. I'll just have to, yeah. Okay, so let's edit this. And we'll do 30 on that rotation there. Ooh. That's kind of annoying. Hang on, I gotta... Well, actually, you know what? I just thought of something. I've got a better idea. Doing that, I can just... I can purposefully do that. That doesn't look half bad. Okay. So that was what? 30? Hopefully that... Yeah, there we go. Okay. I'm gonna have to keep that 30 degrees in mind for all this so that it, like, works correctly. Oh, that's not gonna work. Of course it's not gonna work. Man. Oh, it's fine. I'm gonna leave it as is for now. I'll figure it out here in a sec, but let's get the other two pieces in here real quick. Okay, so I need a spaceship inventory. Be this. We're gonna move that there and then edit. We'll do 90, 30. There we go. Put that right there. That looks pretty good. If I do that, I bet you I could probably kind of hide this if I do that. Yeah. Okay, and then ship armillary console. 01, there it is. Let's drag that in, edit 90. I don't like it. Alright, we're gonna have to... Oh, it's annoying. It's fine. Edit. Hang on. I think I can maybe make this work. Yeah. We'll do 170. Really? Not that much. Oh. I know why. Yeah. I think that'll work better. There we go. Okay. And then now we need the MQ204 armillary screen trigger. And this thing's gonna be big, but it's fine. I can modify it. And this is invisible too, but if you hit V on your keyboard, then we can like shrink it down. Like this, which is perfect. There we go. We are gonna have to change its orientation, but that's not that big of a deal, really. Edit. So we need 80, and then 30, I think, right? Yeah. We want this to go over our screen here, and it's not gonna work out perfectly. It's not. Hang on. There we go. There. Okay. Yeah, so that's what, let's get it all the way, actually. There. That's what we want. We want the whole thing to be covered with this. And I don't know if it's actually linked to the screen or not, the actual model. I always forget. Let me look real quick. Bridge underscore. Oh wait, I'm done. Dumb. Cockpit. There we go. Where's the Viking? There it is. Interior edit. There we go. Okay. Hang on. I gotta like... Where's the armillary in here? There you are. Hello. Edit. Are you linked? No. Alright, cool. So you don't have to like link it to anything, which is kind of weird. Oh, cool. I didn't realize they overlaid that over this. That is very odd. Huh. Yeah, that's really weird. That's fine though. We don't have to overlay, or not overlay. We don't got to link it or anything, so it should be fine if we go back to the writer. Okay, so this should all be set up now and in the right spot. At least for where I want it. I'm going to put more stuff over here. It's not just going to be this. I'll have like other screens and whatnot covering this panel and whatnot, so it won't just be that. I'll probably do that on all three. I'll put stuff here, here, and here, but that'll be later. That takes a lot of time, so, and I don't want to mess with it just yet. But yeah, okay, so now what I'm going to go ahead and do, let's get all of our markers over here set up. These are all spawn points. Well, not this one. This is not a spawn point. Everything else is, though. So, I'm going to move these. These are the main spawn points, these orange-looking deals. We're going to move them so that they are level with... There we go. I'm going to move them so that they're level with the ground. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but we do want it to be fairly level. There we go. This one's like not even... That one's not even in the playable area. That's nice. We'll actually move this one over here. So why not? There we go. There we go. These are fairly important because this is like what tells the NPCs where they can spawn. So right now, the problem is that obviously some of these are not inside of the playable area. I'm gonna have to move these. I can almost guarantee I'm gonna have to move these because this is supposed to be a room and this is not gonna work. I'm gonna have to move these. We'll deal with it later. It'll be alright. Okay. So what I want to do now is... well, where's that? Oh, there it is. I'm just... What is all this? Oh, that's just stuff's linked to other stuff. Okay. Turn all the markers off. What we're going to do is we're going to look up... hang on. Let me get my... There it is right there. Okay, here we go. So, elv_gen exsm underscore enter 01. Is this it? There it is. Okay. This is the door that I always use. So we're going to duplicate that. Right? Again, remember, always duplicate stuff. Don't ever replace. And we're going to rename this whole thing to outrider underscore door. And then we're going to edit the model. And you remember that door that we made? It should be down here somewhere. There it is. There it is. Hit OK. Yeah, this thing, this is what we're going to be using. No. Yes. And we're going to plop this bad boy down right here. And then we need to edit. Well, maybe if it'll let me. There we go. 3D data. Rotate it by 180 degrees. Okay. And then we need to bring this. Oh, that's annoying. That's okay. I was afraid of this, but it's fine. I can make this work, I think. Let's see, what does 2 do? Oh, that's way too much. 1.5. Still way too much. 1.2. Sheesh. This might not work the way that I was hoping it would. Oh, that is so annoying. I was hoping for a custom door, and because this model's kind of janky, I don't think it's gonna work. Yeah, I don't. Oh, that is so annoying. It's okay. We can do what I wanted. I'm just not gonna be able to use this model. Dang it. That's lame. So lame. So we're gonna have to get that later. That's fine. Okay, so what? Okay. Let's do that next. It'll be fine. So, because that didn't work, and I had a feeling it might not, so we're actually going to delete that whole model. We don't need it, because it's useless to us. I'm going to do something else that I did in a different ship. It'll be fine. It's not as good as what I wanted to do, but it'll still work for my purpose. We are we're gonna save this, and then how do I want to do this? Let's look up table. Okay, I bet you static probably has it. Not that. I gotta find it. There's a specific table I am looking for. Let me see, hang on. Is it this one? Yeah, no. Might also be called a desk. Let me look that up real quick. I think that's what it's called. It's all desktop stuff. We don't want that. Is it this one? No. Although that does look cool. Why have I never used that before? That's nice. Not what I'm wanting, but... what on earth is this? That might work. I kind of like that. Yeah, that might just work. Hang on. Okay, so that's your lamps. We don't want any of that stuff. I don't think it's this. No, it's not. Although that does look cool. I might put that in here somewhere. That does look really, really cool. I probably will, because it's got that sort of rustic look that I'm wanting. That's not it. Also not it. Oh. It's not the I know it's not the Starborn stuff. Okay. You know what? I like this one, so we're gonna probably just use this. That'll be fine. Let's see. we go. That looks centered enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. But what we're going to try to do, I don't know if I can actually do that here. It might be a little bit too small. Maybe. Let's go to all. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So we have these different workbenches right here. Starting with this one, workbench armor, chem, food, industrial, research, robot, and workbench. So we only want 4 of these. We want the armor, so we're going to duplicate this one. We want the industrial, so we're going to duplicate that. Research, duplicate that. And weapon, duplicate that. And now we're going to rename these, just why not? We're going to rename it to Outrider Workbench Armor. Hit OK. No, don't create a new form. Go down here. Again, we're going to rename this one to Outrider Workbench Industrial. No. We're gonna keep doing this, and we're gonna make these invisible. No, because there's a thing that I did, or found rather, when I was doing the Senator Yacht. No. Okay. And we're going to make them invisible, and that's the part that I'm not sure if it's going to work so great here. It might. But it also might not. I'm not entirely sure. We're going to get light utility. Hang on. Underscore A06. That is not what I wanted. Hang on. A06. Also not what I wanted. Although, good thing to keep in mind for later. This is probably going to end up being the lights. Probably. Let's just look up light utility. And we'll narrow it down to static. What on earth? I don't even know what that is. We don't want that. Notice you've got the ones that are on, and then you've got ones that are off. And there's a specific one that I'm looking for. I gotta find it. I don't know why I don't have it. Hang on, let me just look up light instead of light utility. Ah, here we go. I think it's one of the, yeah, I think it's one of these. ceiling light that I want. There it is. It's this one. White ceiling SM. I'm gonna put that in my notes real quick. Oh, I already have it in there. I just didn't see it. I'm dumb. Okay. So we're gonna move these. It's gonna look kind of funny at first, but it'll make sense here in a sec. There we go. And scale, we're gonna do like 0.5 for now. See, yeah, there we go. We're gonna duplicate. No, we're not. We're not gonna do that yet. Hang on. We're gonna edit. Okay, so on these, you can edit the light that actually shines, and so we're gonna do that, and we want. I think we want this one. Yeah, that's what we want. Okay. Because we're going to make these holograms. I'm about to show y'all how I do this. Okay, so now we can turn that back on. And then we can duplicate. That's 2. Duplicate. 3. Right click. Duplicate. 4. There we go. It looks decent. This don't quite look. There we go. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I mean, I want that to be over a little bit more like that. That to be moved just a little bit. That one. There we go. That's better. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and save real quick because I do think the original idea I had for this is gonna work. We're using a little bit of a different table than I originally had in mind, but that's okay. Okay, so we want to get a basic structural piece, and then we're gonna duplicate it and replace it. And I guess technically we can just do this. Should be fine. Duplicate that. And then we're gonna edit this thing. And I made down here a whole bunch of holograms, just these holo things, right? So we've got weapon, tool, helmet, and beaker. So we're going to start with the weapon. And being kind of glitchy. There it is. I don't know why it's being glitchy, but it kind of is. I might have to swap out that model. Wait a minute. Outrider. Weapon. Hang on. Polo. Weapon. Oh, and yes. There we go. I don't think I like that. It might have to do with the fact that it's a light. Let me see if there's something else that I can. What do I normally do? I'm trying to think of what I normally use to replace this, or to make these items. Let's look up. Let's just look up like a. Oh wow. There we go. I don't want that. That's not what I wanted. I do not know what I normally use for this. Here we go. Let's try this. Outrider, Polo, helmet, edit. Let me look. Because that one's not all glitching out, it doesn't look like. Yeah, that one looks fine. This one. Yeah, it's working out better now. I don't know why it was doing that. Whatever, it's fine. So we're gonna put this here, and hopefully it stops flashing like that. Hang on, let me see if I, yeah, install. Let me duplicate the helmet real quick, because that one worked. I might just have to find a different model for the weapon. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. Great! That's awesome. I don't know why it's all glitchy like that. It's really not supposed to be. Ugh. Oh gosh, that is so bad. These are also incredibly bright, and that's backwards. Okay, 180. No. Hang on. There we go. That's what we wanted. Yeah, this one. dang it. I'm gonna have to find a new freaking model. That's so... Just so stupid. I shouldn't have to do that. Man. That's fine. We'll change this to something else. Outrider, holo, tool. I know, that's like glaringly bright. It just kind of is what it is. It looks a little bit better in-game than it does right here. Oh great, this model's messed up too. That's fine, I can fix it later. And then see, we'll do like 45. Whoop. Maybe not 45. Do 35. And then we'll scale it down to 0.5. Not 0.5. Do 8. There we go. And then lastly, we're going to go ahead and we're going to duplicate the tool. And we're going to do beaker. Edit, where's our beaker at? Hello, beaker right there. No. Yes. There we go. There. This gives the illusion of having holograms without them actually being holograms. They are very bright, so do keep that in mind. There's a material you can use. The weapon one didn't work. That happens sometimes. You gotta just kind of be careful with that. But what we are now going to do is we're gonna go to our workbenches. No, we're not. We're gonna hit M on our keyboard so that our markers show back up. And then we're gonna go to our workbenches because this is what will happen. And then we want to go ahead and edit our model. And this is for our custom workbench. Notice, Outrider workbench. Don't use the base workbench, otherwise it'll change everything. You don't want to do that. So we're going to edit this. And we're in meshes. We want markers, editor markers, and we're going to use our invisible door again because this is a great marker. Hit OK, OK. I'm going to check again, and there it is. Voila, that's perfect. Okay, so there's our armor. Here's our industrial. We're gonna edit this one. And again, we're gonna do the invisible door. Okay. And for this, by the way, you can mess with the marker of like your character mess with stuff. Typically, I don't worry about it too much. I'm probably going to go back through and make sure that the y-axis is all on the same thing. 'Cause I think this is the one that like Yeah. Yeah, this is the one that moves it forwards and backwards. Research. Gonna edit that, and we want invisible door. Okay. Click up here. Yeah, see? That's different. We're gonna make it -80. Okay. Edit. Edit. Invisible door. Okay. Marker. Yeah, see, that's like way up on there. We want -80. Okay. So let me take a look here. Yeah, see, this one's wrong too. -80, and then we want 0 for that. Okay. Just double checking everything. 0, -80, 0, 0. Okay. 0, -80, 0, 0. And I'm able to modify this if I just click up here in the marker area. That's how I can modify the position of the marker. Because this is like the animation that plays when you click on a workbench. That's this animation. Zero, -80, 0, 0. Okay. So now what we can do is we're going to start with the weapon workbench, and we're going to put it right there, and then we got to modify it on the z-axis. So we're going to do -90. No, we're not. We're going to do 90. What am I thinking? And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit E on the keyboard, and we're just going to drag this down so that our person yep, there we go. Move that one back a little bit. See, this may or may not work. This might be just too small of a space for all 4 of them, and that's kind of what I was afraid of. That's the bad part. I think it probably will be. Ugh, that's annoying. I might have to change this up a little bit, maybe. Let's see what I can do with this. I really don't want to change this too much. All right, so let's do that. Okay, so armor should be next. Edit. Z 90. Okay. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. There's no way. Yeah, there's like no way for this to work. That's really sad. Well, there goes my idea. That's okay. We've got enough room in the hallway, I think, that we can do something with it, I think. This is all gonna have to move. Not ideal. Oh, this might be too big of a thing. Is it gonna be too big? I think. Yep, that's just gonna be too big. Ah, this is so annoying. I had a great idea and it's not gonna work because everything's too big. Dang it. Well, I might have to... I really don't want to put those in one of these rooms, but I might have to. Crud. Okay. Let me see if I can find a different... See if I can find a different desk or something. Because that's part of the problem, is that is a big desk. Would have been nice to have in here, but it doesn't quite work. That's the desk kits. We don't want that. What's this? What is this? No, does not fit what we're looking for. Yep, nope, we don't want that either. What about this one? Ooh, no. This might work. I might be able to get this to work, actually. Let me try that. So that'd give me a little bit more space. Also doesn't take up near as much room as the other one. There. Okay. Okay, now let's move this one back. Actually, hang on. Let's move both of these. All these items back over. And then this one we're gonna move over to here, like that. Yeah, that should work. And then these. Can move over here. There we go. Sometimes you got to just kind of look and see what is available for you to use, because sometimes the original idea you have just doesn't work. But then you can play around with stuff and you can find a good alternative like this. So now, I'm going to move these up, actually. There we go. Okay. So now what I should be able to do is if I go back to Outrider, go to all. And then we put our armor workbench down, edit, Z90, Now, it ain't going to be perfect, and I might have to move some stuff around a little bit more, but this... Oh yeah, that's going to work out a lot better. Reason being, you know what? I can actually probably... Hang on. That too. There we go. Move that even further up, like that. There we go. Let's get our weapon. It's gonna be a little bit cramped, but it should be fine. Should work fairly well, I hope. Yeah, there we go. And we're gonna offset this just a little bit, like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're going to offset that just a little bit so that it's so that you can access both of these easier. And then we want our industrial. Edit. This one we need 180. Go. Okay. We're going to go back and forward like that. Do it like that. There we go. And then lastly, we want our research. Edit 180 degrees. Okay. And we can move that forward like that. Go ahead and we're going to offset it by just a hair, just like we did on the other one. Voila. There's all of our actual workbenches. The only thing missing right now is the hologram for the weapons, but that's the hologram that I've got is just not working all that great. Fun stuff. Sometimes that happens, like I said, and we also got to get the door issue situated, but I know what I'm going to do for that. That's not that big of a deal. I'm not happy about it, but I can fix it. Not what I had in mind for the door, but whatever. It'll be okay. But hopefully I'll kind of see what I'm doing here. Okay, so we're going to save. That's going to be it for the stream, though, because we are, I believe, a little bit over an hour. So I will see y'all probably later today. I don't know. I do want to keep doing this and, you know, show y'all how I do all of what I do. It's a lot of work, but the payout's pretty good, I think. So